Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I just wanted to talk about life after graduation, after graduating college. It's something that is really important to me to discuss. I feel like it's really not discussed as much as it needs to be, and I've been wanting to make a video about this for a little while now because I recently just went through that whole process of graduating and then what to do after and such. So yeah, I thought I could share my information and help other people with it, so why not? So to start off, I guess I'll tell you guys a little bit about my background in like academics and stuff. So in high school, I didn't have like the best high school experience. I loved my school, but I didn't really like make that many friends. I had my group of friends, but that was about it. I didn't really go to parties and stuff. I pretty much kept it low key, and I did like okay in terms of grades, like all throughout high school. So yeah, it was like pretty mediocre experience. Like my friends that I did make, like I had like a strong group of like a few friends. They're still my friends till this day, so that was a really great thing out of it. But I always felt like I'm outcast and like, you know, kind of misunderstood and whatever. So that was like my experience in high school. It wasn't like, you know how some people have these amazing experiences to make all their best friends and they find their high school sweetheart and stuff. Like I didn't really have that. But my college experience was a little different. I did have that experience. Like my college experience was a lot like a lot of people's high school experience. So I made all my great friends in college. I met the love of my life in college. I had like a really fun like 4 years, and it was just like crazy, and I experienced so many things. I lived off on my own for the first time. It was really it was a time, to say the least. But in terms of academics, I didn't really have a real direction. So when I did go to school, I decided to major undeclared, because the way that it works is if you do declare a major, like there's a program, there's a track that you have to follow and stuff. And me being 17 at the time, I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do. I was really interested in photography. I was also interested in writing and English, and I was also interested in psychology as well. So I had a lot of different interests that didn't really all mesh, and I didn't really know what to choose. It was very daunting at the time. So I just went in undeclared, and although I really wanted to do photography, it wasn't really in the cards because I didn't have a portfolio. I didn't have really any experience besides my own editing and my own like posting photos and stuff like that. So I wasn't like ready to apply, and in this kind of program, it was an art school that I did go to. You kind of needed to be ready when you started school, and I was like all over the place. So I ended up, after 2 years, in my sophomore year, I ended up choosing psychology as my major. And the reasons behind this was because I really wanted to help people. I'd always worked with children my whole life since I was a kid. My grandmother had a daycare. I just was always interested in working with children, helping people, and I worked with individuals with disabilities for a while, and it was just always like really fulfilling to me, and I always liked it. So I thought psychology was a safe choice because I could apply it to a lot of different things, and I could obviously apply it to helping people, but I also thought it might be a way that I could also make money in doing what I love. So I thought that was just like a safe choice at the time, so I did it, and I went through my program, and I had a little difficulty with my program because at my school, the program of psychology that we have at our school is science-based. So some programs are more like social science based, but mine was like an actual science based, like biologically based program. And so there's a lot of research and a lot of science behind it, and I wasn't really skilled in that, so it was a little bit tough, but it was an amazing program, and I learned so much, and like the knowledge that I have from the program is like life changing. I love that I went through that program, but at the end of the program, I was kind of like, okay, what do I want to do when I like get out of school, and like what is my goal with this major? And I kind of realized like there wasn't a real clear goal. Like I was interested in being a therapist, was interested in being a psychologist, all these different things, but I wasn't really interested in going back to school for years and years to get like those kinds of degrees. And I also wanted to do something that was fun and creative, and I don't know. So I was kind of just like at this weird place of like, okay, so what am I gonna do with my major? And one big thing I want to talk about today is the fact that I don't really feel that colleges really set you up for what to do after college. I feel like they kind of put you on this one track mind of like, get a major, get the degree, and then get the job in the field. And in my opinion, things are going in a different direction, and more people aren't doing what they actually majored in, and a lot of people have way more interest than just one singular interest in one singular field. So it's kind of limiting the way that they present it to you, as if you have one choice, or you pick out of a bunch of options and then you go in that direction. And for me, as a person who just has so many different interests and a lot of things I want to do with my life, I needed some guidance. So I was kind of lost in the like struggle. And I just feel like there's a lot of societal pressure to like, once you get your degree and graduate, move out of your parents' home, get a nice paying job so that you can like afford a lifestyle and stuff. And it was really daunting for me. So what I ended up doing was, when I graduated, I ended up nannying, because I thought that was the way that I could make the most money in a short period of time doing something that I was interested in, which was working with kids. And I also went to school like away from home. I made all my friends there, and I met my boyfriend, and he was living in that area as well. So like when I graduated, I was like, I want to be with my friends, I want to be with my boyfriend, I want to move. So I thought nannying was the quickest way to do that. So I became a live-in nanny, and I did that for a while. And it was a really like rash decision. I kind of just chose it so I could make some money and be closer to my friends and my boyfriend, and it was just kind of like a silly decision, honestly, that I made. It was a great experience, but I found out quickly that I did not like nannying at all, and it just wasn't for me. And I knew that, like, it was always something in my mind that I was like, this will be temporary. So I knew that going into it, but I didn't know I would not like it at all. So it was really like kind of a weird time in my life, because I was just like, I don't know what I want to do. I have so many things that I'm interested in, but this is not what I want to do. So I ended up moving back home and kind of like just trying to figure out where did I want to be, like what kind of workplace did I want, and like kind of frame the rest of my life. Well, the beginning of the rest of my life. So I decided I knew I wanted to be in New York City, and I knew I wanted to like work in like kind of the business world, and so I decided to move to New York City. Well, I moved right outside of New York City to Jersey City, and I lived with my aunt, and I just kind of up and did it. I packed my car up and I moved with her, and I was very like fortunate enough to have my aunt, who lived right outside the city, to just kind of crash at her place and like figure out what I'm doing. But that was like my own little push to just like get out there and do it. So I just randomly moved down there, and I just started applying. Every single day for a few months, I just applied on Indeed, on Monster. I just like was going online from morning to night applying, and then I started getting interviews, and then I would just go into the city and take these interviews, because I just knew I wanted to be in the city and I wanted to be working, and I felt like I had so much knowledge and so many skills that weren't being put to use when I was nannying. So I was ready to just like learn more and put my skills to use. So I just applied, hours and hours and days and weeks of applying, and then I started to get interviews. And like honestly, I went through a lot of interviews where I was just like, I don't want to work here, I'm not interested in this, like whatever. So eventually I did happen upon a position that I really liked, and so that job was in Soho. And long story short, they ended up moving me out to Boston, and yeah, that was just like totally random. But now I've been in this position for about 10 months, and I couldn't be happier. Like, I really do love my position. For my first job out of school, my first real job, I couldn't have been any more lucky. So one big thing I would say, and the main reason I wanted to make this video, was to let people know that don't allow the societal pressures and like the norm to influence you and what you want to do in your life. There are so many options. This world is just like insanely big, and there's so many different things you could do, so many different people, so many different workplace opportunities. And don't allow yourself to feel like you're in a box because of the way that the education system is set up. I think it's really important for people to try things that they might not have any experience in, or they're just completely interested in and don't have the background in it, because that's what I did. And now I'm in a position in a field that I never had heard of before, and that I never thought I would be in, and I'm doing something I really like, and I have this whole new life and this whole new opportunity. and I've been able to travel, and I've been able to meet people and network, and it's been a really great experience. And it's all because I randomly applied to a position that I just seemed to have interest in. I had no credentials for the position, but I interviewed with them and they really liked me and I really liked them, and it was just like a match made in heaven, honestly. For my first job, I couldn't be more blessed. So I just want people to know that just when it comes to the job process and when it comes to life after college, like, it is not easy. It is not easy. It took me so long, months and months and months, to finally find a job that worked for me. And it was a tough process. I was like very anxious. I was nervous. I was like, how am I going to survive? Like, in terms of financially, like, how am I going to get out of my parents' home? Like, I don't want to have to ask my parents for things. Like, how am I going to live alone? Like, there's so many questions. It's like a whirlwind coming at you right when you graduate. But I would think that, like, it's important that people, like, don't feel the pressures of what people expect from you. Do something that you're interested in. Follow your gut. If you go to school for 4 years like I did, and then you get out and you're like, wait, I don't really want to do this, and you have something else you're interested in, don't let the idea that, okay, you went to school for these 4 years for this one thing, skew you and make you think this is what you have to do. You don't have to do. People change their mind all the time. We're so young when we go into college, and by the time we graduate, we're still pretty young. It's really important to realize you can change your mind. It's totally okay. And don't let anyone make you think that it's not okay, that it's weird, or that, like, you can't do it. You can do anything that you put your mind to. If you want to get a job in a field that you're not familiar with, certain fields, I would say, obviously, like engineering, for example. You're not just going to get an engineering job without any information, any background, or any skills. But there are ways to go about finding a position in a career that you're interested in without having to have... So there are many different ways to go about doing something that you're interested in and pursuing it. And it doesn't always entail having the 4-year degree or however many year degree in that specific field. Sometimes you just gotta wing it and just go out on a limb like I did and take a chance in something that you might, if you're interested in it, do it. You can do it. People in society might make you seem like you can't, or that's not the way to go, or there's a certain path, but it's not always true. And many people go to school for 4 years, graduate, and then they don't want to do what they got their degree in. And it's totally fine, and it's totally normal, and it's totally doable. That's the main thing. Like, you can change your mind a million times if you want. Like, you can try a million different career paths, a million different lifestyles, whatever. Like, at the end of the day, you gotta do what makes you happy. Like, as cliche as it sounds, like, do not limit yourself to what is expected of you or what you feel you should do. Only think about what you want to do and what you're interested in, because, like, life is short. Like, honestly, it is cliche, but it is short. So the main thing I want anyone watching this video to take out of it is just feel like you can do anything that you want to do. As cliche as it sounds, like, you really can. As a person who just went through this whole entire process, thinking the whole entire time, like, there is no way I'm going to be able to do this. If I want to do this, there's no way I can do it because I don't have this degree, I don't have that skill, I don't have this. And all these different things that I was thinking only because of the pressures of society, to be honest. That's where it comes from. It doesn't come from any other place. And obviously a little bit of self-doubt and self-confidence, but mainly, I think if you give yourself the confidence and if you give yourself the will and the determination, you can do anything that you want to do. And it's just about putting that energy into the universe and willing yourself to do it and not letting anyone hold you back. Yeah, you're going to face rejection. Yeah, it's going to be hard. But at the end of the day, you can do anything you want to do if you're willing to put in the time, the energy, and the work. And, like, I genuinely believe that. And I want more people to realize that and understand that, because I did not realize that and understand that when I was going to school and when I graduated. It was really tough for me. And now I'm at this really great place where I can really look back retrospectively and say, like, wow, I wish when I graduated, I just had some more confidence in myself and my skills, because not all skills are just learned from sitting in a classroom. Some skills you learn over time. Like, for me, one of my biggest skills that I believe helped me land this job, totally out of my field, was my personality. Was just being personable and getting along with people and being interested in dealing with people and helping people. And that is pretty much what's shown through to my employer. And, like, I think it's just really important for people to realize, like, there are other ways to get to the path that you want to get in terms of career, and it's not always black and white. And don't let anyone tell you that you can't do something that you want to do. If you want to do it, go out there and do it. And, like, it all has been said before, and it's so cliche, but I just want people to know, like, from my personal experience, I'm 22 years old. I just graduated last May 2015, and I'm in this really great place, and I have had so many different experiences in just like the past year that I never could have imagined a year ago in the place I was in. So I just want to put this video out there for people to have a little bit of positivity and motivation behind the life after college and just the college process in general. I think it's really important to feel like you're not alone out there, because that's how I felt at the time. Even though I had friends going through the same thing, it didn't feel like it. It just felt like it was just me and I was just failing, and it's not always like that, and it's gonna take time, but you can do it. I just want everyone to feel like they can do it and it's possible. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I really hope this video gave you a little bit of positivity, a little bit of motivation in your life, and helps you in any way, shape, or form. Thank you guys so much for watching.